Welcome back to the Salisbury Greenhouse Christmas video series. I'm Rob Sproul. Today we're talking about fresh greens. Fresh greens have become so popular the past few years that really you can do anything you want with them because things are still developing with fresh greens. There's so many different options available now, so many types. Today we're going to talk about some basic care and we're going to talk about basic varieties available to you. There is another video in the series where we're going to, a couple others where we're going to put some fresh greens together for you as well. So today we're talking about fresh green care, and this is something that our florist just did up at Salisbury, and it's gorgeous. This is an urn liner, and what this is this is just in a regular fiber pot. So you can put this in an urn or a ceramic container, whatever you like. It'll look gorgeous at your front door. Now, the basic care for fresh greens are very, very popular because of the smell, first of all, and the look of freshness. It really softens your front door. In the winter, you can't just put a hanging basket at your front door. It'll freeze solid. So people are putting fresh greens at their front door to care for them. If it freezes solid and it stays frozen, it doesn't go above zero, you're off the hook. You don't have to care for it at all because, because if they freeze, it's going to freeze all the moisture in the leaves or in the branches, and the moisture is going to stay in there, and so you don't have to worry about it's not going to desiccate. If the thermometer starts going above zero, it starts getting warm days, you start getting those 5-degree days, minus 10-degree nights, and then you want to start looking at spraying it down with some water, even a good mister bottle, give it some spray, get some moisture into these branches, and so let some moisture really seep in. That'll keep it fresher longer. You will get some natural desiccation going on. The ilex berries will tend to wrinkle a little bit over time, but that's very normal. I wouldn't worry about it. The great thing about these is, something like an urn liner, after Christmas, take out the Christmas ribbon, take out the Christmas balls and all the ting-ting, and you just have a gorgeous green liner, and put some pine cones in, maybe put a little more curly willow in. You have a gorgeous liner right through until March when you want to get rid of it. So now we're going to talk about some different varieties, some different types of boughs. At Salisbury we have dozens of different types of boughs. We have over a dozen types of branches. We have the largest selection of Christmas greens and branches anywhere in Alberta. And the boughs are running, what are they running? $8.50. If you buy 5 or more, they're $7.50 each. You save more on that if you have one of our grow cards, which are free. And let's talk about some of the different branches. Of course, you have your Western red cedar, and there's 3 or 4 types of these that are very, very basic. This is one of them, very, very basic stuff. And usually the 3 or 4 types you can find anywhere. It's the more exotic stuff that you have to come to us to get. This is pine. This is just a white pine. Gorgeous, has a gorgeous smell, gorgeous look to it. You can see how it moves in my hand. We have a lot of different types of cedar. This is an Orford cedar. It has a silvery tinge to the needles, as you can see there. We have an incense cedar. Where did that go? Here it is. Incense cedar, and these guys, this is the most scented cedar, the incense, and it has a wonderful scent to it. It also tends to drape. You see the shape of it, as opposed to this, so it tends to drape a little more. And so incense cedar is great for putting in the sides of arrangements because it'll drape out and hang down the sides. Now, fir. Fir is very popular as well. You have your basic Douglas fir here, which is the basic fir look. Very, very good staple. If you want a little more interest, a little more color appeal to the fir, go for a silver fir. Now this is, the fronts are actually darker than the Douglas fir, but if you turn it around, you get this gorgeous silver tinge. So what people will do is they'll put silver fir in behind is to create a bit of a wall behind, like here. You see here how this is put in behind, so you create the look there, the wall there, but the silver creates this beautiful color. Like if you look at this, you have such a range of very, very subtle greens and blues. Speaking of blue, now we're going to get into a little more interesting stuff, a little more exciting stuff. This is Carolina Sapphire, and how cool is that? Look at the color on that thing. So this is from the southern U.S., it's a shrub. We pull boughs from Vancouver, Oregon, Florida, and Ontario into Christmas here. So that's Carolina Sapphire, gorgeous blue color. We have hemlock, mountain hemlock here, which is kind of a cross between the cedar and pine when it comes to your texture. We have some, what else do we have here? We have some juniper, which is again very basic. Juniper you're going to need to keep moist. Juniper tends to desiccate quite quickly, and when you get juniper, make sure it's not crumbly. Make sure, you know, touch it, make sure it doesn't disintegrate in your hands, and if it does, don't buy it. And make sure it has lots of berries, and that the berries have a little give to them. So the juniper, of course, people buy it for the berries, the juniper. We have the Oregonia here, which is a lovely deciduous look. Oregonia is not great for going outdoors, but it's a lovely look for the indoors. And we have, of course, the boxwood, which there's variegated, and then the boxwood is the plain. We have other deciduous. We have huckleberry. Huckleberry, and you even get the huckleberries on there, just like Mark Twain intended, I think. Anyway, so huckleberries have this lovely red stems to them, and they have a nice robust look, kind of a different looking branch. What else do we have? We have Ming pine. This is really, really cool stuff. Once you get nice and close in on that, look at it has a softer texture than the others. Perfect for indoor designing. Look at the color of that. Gorgeous stuff. What else do we have? We have well, of course, we have blueberry cedar. So this is actually a cedar with the blueberries. Again, this stuff, Ming pine, Carolina sapphire, a lot of this stuff you're only going to find at Salisbury. Moving into the branches, we have all different kinds of branches. Of course, we have your basic eucalyptus. Eucalyptus, you don't want to use it outside, it'll freeze and brown. But on indoor arrangements, look at that color. It's like a succulent container. Beautiful, crisp, cool blue to the color for eucalyptus. And this is also eucalyptus. This is not a medieval torture device. This is called potted eucalyptus. And aren't those neat? These are seed pods. This is very natural. But in indoor arrangements, this would look, you pair this up with, you know, pretty much anything, and it's going to look gorgeous. It's going to have that gorgeous contrast of shapes that you don't normally get. This is painted eucalyptus. It has a silver paint to it. What else do we have? We have rose hips. Now, rose hips are great for indoor designing. They're kind of like ilex, which we'll talk about next, but they have just the hip on the top. Very rustic looking. Of course, you know, a lot of people would say very Albertan looking. When you get the rose hips, again, make sure the tips are nice and pliable so that it's not too old of a branch. This is ilex, and I love this stuff. This is called winterberry, ilex winterberry. This is a real plant, and it's a gorgeous plant. It's when you get it, make sure the berries on it are nice and full, and so make sure they're full up the stem, and make sure they're nice and fat, like a pea, like a big edible pea. You don't want them to be small and shriveled, because that means the plant is old, and the next top is just going to brown. And make sure there's a good amount on the branch. The branch should be nice and full. Be careful with ilex because it tends to, actually, not many came off. This is a very, very good, healthy, fresh one. But when they get older, the berries will fall off. We have, this is desert willow. And this is great stuff, a very rustic. This is painted orange. This is a really rustic look. Gorgeous, go very well with something like rose hips, even the eucalyptus. We have sage. This is a purple painted sage. I think we have a red or an orange as well. And you get that gorgeous sage smell. That sage smell that always makes me think of southern Alberta and Pincher Creek kind of area. So this is great stuff as well. And of course the big branches we have curly willow, which is a real staple. And you get these gorgeous curls on the top, beautiful for vertical accents with a little bit of personality to them. These are the small branches. You can use small branches in all home decor as well. And these are the small branches. You can get the really big ones. You can get the 8-footers we have here as well. And of course, we have dogwood. And dogwood are a vertical accent that are much more vertical. They are going to stand right upright. I'll show you here. Here we have red and black dogwood, and you can see how nice and vertical they are. You put some curly willow in there, it's going to add much different dimension to the container. So that's a little bit about what's available. It's a little overwhelming, I know. Basically, when you come in, when you look at the fresh greens, come into Salisbury, take a look. They're always here. They're right in the middle of the store where everyone can see them. And look at them like raw materials and really keep your mind open about what you can do with this stuff. You don't have to spend a lot of money. A few bunches of boughs will do you. And just be creative. Be creative, and you can do so much with some other materials around the house, maybe some old decorations, maybe an old vase, some rocks, a candle, and get some cedar, get some little curly willow stems, and the sky's the limit, how creative and amazing you can decorate with. So that's a little bit about fresh greens, how to pick them, different varieties available, how to take care of them.